So you're arriving in an empowered state and you're shining and strong, so that it doesn't matter what happens. And so next up today is Swasti. Hi, Swasti. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
So basically, I had an issue with this guy who I was talking about who's going to Australia yesterday. Yes. He's my friend's friend. They live together. And so because I have to do this exam again, I'm going to her house. So that's where I'll be staying to do the exam. The issue is then I have to see him again. So,
okay.
And I got a response yesterday. Well, we'd been on this conversation for a month and it was all fine. But then yesterday he suddenly comes out with I finally found myself after 2 years or something, something crazy like that. Because he really believes in big self-development work and whatever. And he's just needed to be alone. Mm-hmm. So I'm just letting you know that you need to be alone. And that just set my day just bad. Because I was you hypocrite. You're such a
Interesting.
Hypocrite. Because 2 weeks ago you were so excited and now you're just I need space and time. I'm literally never going to see you again. And it just made me really, really upset. So I wrote a due justice letter because I realized that my parents are hypocrites too, to my parents, the due justice letter. And I realized that it's because of their reactions too. So their reactions would change, that nothing was consistent. But this is where it was a good find. I'm having issues changing their reactions and I don't really know how to change hypocrisy. I suppose it's more I don't trust that what they say they'll do.
Right. Yes. Well done. That is a good find. Well spotted. The first question is, what happens when you try to change them? So let's take one at a time. Let's take your mum. So when you try to change those memories of your mum being a hypocrite, what happens as you try to do it? How do you know you can't?
I just feel this panic set in.
Okay.
That I'm going to suddenly get, something's going to happen suddenly.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
And what kind of thing could happen suddenly?
Her mood would just change randomly. You'd just be having a great day and then suddenly she just starts screaming about something. And because I'm I'm at home with them, that's me all day long. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay. There's 2 ways to go here. And I know one of these we've done before in a slightly different context. Let's start with that one. Actually, before I do that, let me ask you, what would solve that for you? So let's say you can make the situation different. What would help you to feel safe, or that you can trust, that you can relax, that you know that if something's going to happen, you'll know about it in time?
It's weird, but probably an email or a notification of some sort.
Yeah, good idea. Very good. So let's create that. So whenever they're going to change mood, they send you an email letting you know. Okay, so you receive an email, I'm going to be screaming in a little while, later today or at 4:00. And then you can make sure that you're out of the house doing something else and let them do the screaming. And then when they're over, they can send you another email. Okay, I'm done with my screaming now. You can come home. And then you come home and they're happy. How would that feel? I'm not sure if
I feel a lot calmer. Yeah.
It feels calmer. Oh, good. And I wasn't sure if it was an internet lag or a hesitation on your side. So that would help. That would help to feel calmer.
Feels a little calmer. Yeah. It's not fully gone, but yeah.
Okay. So that's a start. Now, what if they also had a warning light? If the light is green when they're happy and everything's safe and fine, and then it starts to go yellow when they're starting to wind up to something, they also have a button and you can press the button that makes it go back to green. So you have control.
Oh, okay.
How would that feel?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's good.
Good. So they got these little warning lights on the head and green. So you've got time. It doesn't go from green to red. It goes green to yellow. And then you can press the button. It makes it go back to green and you're fine. And they're fine.
Yeah.
All right, good. Because what we want to do as much as possible is put control in your hands. There's 2 pieces. Number 1, put the control in your hands. That's the first piece for feeling safe. And then secondly, we move on to where they are always great. So there is no need for that. But you need that control first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So practice the memories of the emails and the warning lights until it feels established and it feels yes, this feels good and strong. And then see if you can create memories of they've still got those lights, but they are always green and they are only green and they are only capable of being in that happy state. So it's an upgrade. They get upgraded to green only. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You create that foundation of complete trust. You know you can trust it because there is nothing else.
Right. I still have this like slight thing of what will they do to me? And will I have time to react?
Okay, good. Okay, very good. So now imagine that you have this bubble around you, a protection bubble, and nothing and no one can get through that bubble unless you allow it. How would that feel?
Yeah. I think we tried this before, but it doesn't really hit the spot. Like it doesn't feel safe or as safe as it doesn't conjure up the safety feelings.
Okay. So what do you think is missing? What do you think would help to make that feel safer, or something else that would feel safer?
I think like distance and being away.
Okay. So if they're distance, so there's a distance between you, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So they're just more far away.
Okay, so they're far away. So that's a start. We don't want to leave it there because we need you to feel safe, to be safe, no matter what. So, but this is a stepping stone. So there is that distance. So let's imagine that now. So they're always at a significant enough distance from you that they can't hurt you. They can't touch you. How would that feel?
Yeah, that feels safe.
Good, very good. So keep practicing that until it's really established and you feel, yes, it's safe enough now for me to move to the next step. Okay. And once you think, yes, okay, so I've got that feeling of safety, it feels safe, they're always at a distance, can't be hurt. And once that's the case, check their faces and make sure that at a distance, they're already always in a good mood, they're always happy, they're always loving and kind from that distance. Okay, so you are not going to let them come closer until they are behaving themselves, until they've changed completely, right? And then once that's the case, once every time you look at their faces and you think of them, you've got that lovely feeling of happiness and joy and, you know, safety and compassion, and they're always supportive and enthusiastic and fun and all of that, then you can bring them a little closer as it feels, say, as you feel comfortable with. And again, you've always got control of what that distance is. Does that help?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, good. So how do you feel now about moving forward with that?
Yeah, I feel good. But I'm just thinking like, I might need to repeat the stepping stones for a lot longer. I think that's where I'm missing this.
And that's absolutely fine.
Because I've been struggling with this for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's absolutely fine. You stay on the stepping stones for as long as you need to, because you are the boss of you. This is all within your control, and you get to decide when you're going to move to the next stage. So you can stay on those stepping stones for as long as you need to, as long as you want to. And then there will come a time when you think, yeah, okay, I've got that now, and now I can move forward to the next piece. Sound good? Yes. So now let's look at this situation. So when are you going to that house?
This Saturday.
This Saturday. Okay. And how do you feel about it right now as you think of it?
No, I don't want to be there.
You don't want to be there, yeah. Let's take the guy out of the situation for the moment. Let's pretend he's not there. How would you feel about going if he wasn't there?
That would be great.
Great. Okay, good. So the other people or that you're going to see, you're happy to see them and you'll have a nice time.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Let's sort that out now. So as you think of this guy, what meaning is there for you? So what does it mean to you that he said he's doing some self-development and he needs some time and space?
I think I was just very angry yesterday, like over the top anger, because I just thought it was all going so well. Yeah. And now at the end it goes badly.
Right.
As per usual. It's because of the emotional availability and whatnot.
And I can completely understand that. And of course, they'll be disappointed.
And I just thought like he had 2 months alone, just in the past 2 months. Past month he was just all alone. I was like, so what were you doing then? But anyway, I understand people have and then I was like, I understand that he has his own stuff and whatever, and that's okay. He's dealing with it how he wants to deal with it. And I'm
Right.
happy that he found his happiness and all of that. But then I just think, I don't know, if you can handle a relationship, why did you get into it in the first place? So
Mhm. So what do you think is the worst case scenario? What are you most worried about? What do you have most fear about?
like him expecting the interaction.
Him expecting the
Yeah.
interaction? Yeah. Or what's wrong
Yeah.
with that?
Well, I can't just ignore him because I know this person.
Uh-huh.
So I think I almost feel like obliged to, but then I don't want to.
So the
Yeah.
first thing here is to give yourself permission to not have to do anything you don't want to do. Okay. So give yourself permission. If there's something you don't want to do, you're not going to do it. And that's okay because you are the boss of you. And other people's expectations are about them. It's about their programs. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So because different people expect different things, we can't please everyone. And those different things are based on their own programs, references, and all of that, training, conditioning. It starts with giving yourself permission to do what feels good for you and not having to please anybody else or answer to anyone else or anything. So let's pretend that you get to the house and you don't want to engage with him. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? So he's going to want to engage with you. What would that look like?
But I just want to go back to the original question, what does it mean? I think
sure.
a bit of it's like when somebody doesn't want me or doesn't want to engage with me, then I rebel back and I do the same.
Right.
So I think that's the thing. It's like not being wanted kind of hurts. So then I'm making you feel hurt.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Have you ever been in a position where someone has wanted to be with you and you haven't wanted to be with them?
Yeah. And I feel like in my head, this is karma from that, but it's not.
It's not karma, not at all. No, but it can give you some insight into the meaning of it, right? Which means that when you were in that position, how did you feel?
I mean, it didn't feel great, but I knew that was the right decision.
Right. Okay. How did you hope that the other person would be about it, would feel about it, would behave? You didn't want to be with them, so you told them, or it came up in whatever way. What would have been the ideal scenario in your mind? What were you hoping their response would be?
Well, yeah, to accept that, but also be nice about it, not being evil about it. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Did you have any experiences like that?
Well, yeah. Yeah, he was accepting.
Okay, good. So now we switch it around. So now you've got this situation. If you think that he is feeling the way you felt before, how do you feel or how do you see it? What meaning is there then?
I understand the situation more, but it still kind of hurts.
Yeah. What I want to get to about the meaning is it can mean he just needs some time. I understand that he's going through some stuff, or it can mean this is just an excuse. He's pretending that he doesn't, he's got something, how that people say, oh, it's not you, it's me, or he's being mean or whatever. So that's what is that meaning there? What do you think he's actually meaning or feeling or is going on?
I think so. The whole thing is there's no future to this relationship, so it's kind of better to end it here. But I was ready to end it a month ago. And then because I had to go back to Liverpool, that's when I kind of had to message him. I needed the key card for the house from him. And then the conversation kind of started up again.
Right.
And then he was like, oh, I'm very excited to see you again. Like, and so he asked me to stay as long as possible within the time because he's going back home as well. So this is my thing. He kind of asked me to stay. And now he's like, I can't see you. And I'm like, okay.
And what does that mean to you?
That's the hypocrisy thing.
That's the hypocrisy. Okay. And what do you think his motivation is? Or what do you think is driving this decision? What do you think the reasoning is?
So he wants to do the PhD in Australia. So I suppose he's in his flow of like applying and writing proposals and stuff. So I think that's what it is. But also, I think I just need to let him know that I'm not going to get in his way because I'm there for an exam.
Right.
Like, I'm not going for fun either.
So that's good. So you choose to focus on what the reason you're going there. And can you give yourself something to look forward to as well while you're there? In other words, catching up with other friends, having a nice meal with someone.
Yeah, catching up with other friends.
Very good. Good job. So what I suggest you do is start pre-paving it so that before you go, you're already in that feel-good state, and expect the worst case scenario, make peace with that, and see if you can love that worst case scenario so that you're arriving in an empowered state. So you're not arriving in a, I don't know what's going to happen, or I don't want that to happen. So you're arriving in an empowered state and you're shining and strong so that it doesn't matter what happens. And you feel comfortable with saying, oh, you know what, when you said that we weren't going to connect, I made other plans if you don't want to spend time with him, for example.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also make other plans, right?
Yeah.
Make some plans to do with obviously studying, make that your priority, getting prepared for the exam, whatever you need to do in order to make sure you have the best chance with the exam. And then the time that you are not doing that, make plans with other friends, make plans to do things that you enjoy, or just catch up on sleep or whatever, so that you have your time planned. If he wants to get together and you don't want to, you're able to say that. It's also because then in your mind, you have something to do. You are busy. You're not waiting to see if he's going to connect or not. So you're giving yourself something definite to stick to. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. And do lots of pre-paving with the superpower.
Okay.
As much as you can, of course, in addition to the new childhood memories with your parents.
Okay.
So how does all of that sound?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Good. And how do you feel now when you think of going there?
I actually got a different insight into it. Like, yeah, I feel better about it. Yeah.
Good. Yay. Good job. All right, sweetheart. Good job. And so enjoy. See how much fun you can have and see how good you can feel. See how good you can be to yourself.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. You're very welcome. Have a safe journey there, and we'll see you, I'm sure, when you get back.
Thank you.
Lots of love to you, sweetheart. You're very welcome. All right. Oh, Chris, hello.
You may just be about to finish, but I always love it when you finish a session by saying enjoy. And it's as though we've transformed our problem, our situation, into a vehicle to say, hey, this is live. I love it. Let's do it.
There you go.
Yeah, and always. It's a lovely moment. And you know, I'm lucky enough to be a practitioner. And there's always that lovely moment as we come to the end of a session where everybody says, oh, I feel so much better now. I'm really ready to get on and get this life going. And
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, because it's what it's done for me in my life. And like everybody else, I've still got all my troubles and not so much woes, but there's stuff that happens. But most of the time, I've broken the relationship with all that, because it was really, the more I bought into, well, there's this and there's that, and then there's I've got everything, but there is still, it's the relationship that I still have with the buts, rather than hey, but this is another opportunity to experience more of this great lovely life.
Yay. I'm so glad to hear that, Chris. Thank you for sharing. And yes, so for those who would like to do one-to-one sessions as well, a reminder that Chris is a Remmert Method practitioner certified by us. So you can contact Chris on Facebook. Chris, do you want to share your website address for everybody as well?
Yeah, it's unstoppableu.uk.
There we go. So
one word, .uk.
Yes, unstoppableu.uk. Swing by Chris's website to find out more about working with her as well.
Or on the Facebook page.
Or on Facebook. We highly recommend Chris. She's an amazing practitioner. All right, very good. So thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here today as well. It's always lovely to see you. And to everyone else, we will see you same time, same place next week. Thank you so much to those who ask questions. We really appreciate it, and it helps everyone else as well. Bye-bye now.